Live from downtown Vancouver at the Vancouver Film School campus, it's time for EP Live. Hey, welcome to EPN. My name is Victor Lucas, and it is so good to be back in the studio bringing you the latest and everything cool every single day. Thank you so much for joining us. If you are watching this on our YouTube channel, thank you for watching the stream. We'll get into Let's Play and Chat in a little bit, and we're going to have some very good times here with some Genesis games. So it's kind of a Sega celebration today. We've got fantastic guests that are going to talk about some Dolphin video games, and the list isn't that long. So we're going to talk about other things. Ed Annunziata is one of our guests, and he actually was a producer on the X-Men game that's on my desk, and SpiderMan, and Adventures of Batman and Robin, a bunch of other things. And the guys from Jupiter and Mars, who were on EP Live not too long ago, James Milkey and Sam Kennedy, are joining him. So we're going to have a little cross-chatter about Dolphins video games and the history of the Sega Genesis, and I can't wait for that conversation. But first, we have a rundown to get to, and I'm going to dedicate this rundown. I just got back into town, and thank you for your patience with us. We do have to travel sometimes to make this content, and it is the busy season as we're heading into E3. Borderlands 3 had a huge event last week. I had a fantastic time at that event, and the game was super fun to play. I'll probably tell you guys a bit about it in the next EP Live. But I also went to, I guess, the middle of Ontario, north of Toronto. I went to Belleville, and I went to Kingston. And I was hanging with a friend named Jonathan McFowle, who invited me out to attend a comic book event, a free comic book day event at Need a Hero Comics in Belleville. So my dedication today is to all of the people that I met in Belleville and in Kingston. I got a lot of nice messages on Twitter and people commenting under some of the videos that we've been making. And I got a lot of nice smiles and high fives, and it was incredibly, incredibly fun for me to be there. Thank you so much, and thank you, Jonathan, for bringing me out there. Let's get started with our run. Oh, we're also going to dedicate this rundown to Daenerys' coffee cup in Game of Thrones. Good job, continuity people. All right, now let's move on with our rundown. Now, the new movie version of Sonic the Hedgehog is getting some big changes. After a massive fan outcry, the film's director Jeff Fowler has announced that they're going to alter the design of the character, adding that everyone at Paramount and Sega is fully committed to making this version of Sonic the best that he can be. They haven't shown off what the new version of the character will look like, but presumably he'll be closer in line with his video game counterpart. It's unclear how much extra work this is going to cost the animation team, who will no doubt have to work overtime in order to make the film's scheduled release this November. I think a lot of this effects work is kind of malleable. I know it looks like they put the whole movie together when you see the trailer, but they've really been handpicking select shots, and they're kind of working with some almost finished shots. We saw this with the way that the Avengers has been marketed the last few years, where they would put characters in and pull characters out and kind of try to surprise us with what was going to be the end film. The CG artists working on this can make a lot of changes and make it look a lot better. We've seen that time and again. Even with some of the stuff that was on the Joker, I think they changed a lot of stuff in Suicide Squad. Still sucked, but they have the ability to alter course, and I really hope that they do. I actually have, clearly I have friends at Sega that I've known for years and years, but I also have people that work in Hollywood with the video game industry that have worked on this movie, and they were like waving a flag, hooray, we're celebrating the launch of this trailer. And then on every other Facebook post that I know across the industry, that Sonic movie looks like crap. That's just trash. So it was kind of breaking my heart a little bit. So hopefully they'll do enough of a CG paint job that they're going to make us care about all of this. I think the big complaint that we can levy at that Sonic trailer and the look of Sonic so far, or the vibe of the Sonic movie so far, is the look of Sonic. He just looks a little too, I don't know, earthy, or like they're trying to make him a little too, like, it's like some weird guy, like a smaller person inside of a suit at a theme park, but he escaped and he can run fast. I don't know. It just doesn't have the right vibe. Let's see. I'll keep my fingers crossed on that one. Breath of the Wild was such a big and influential game, it's even changing how things unfold in the Animus Ubisoft is set to announce a new Ghost Recon game later this week, but in the meantime, a fresh batch of rumors about their next Assassin's Creed game have popped up online. A user on 4chan has posted that they claim to be what they claim to be are leaked images from the game, which appear to confirm previous rumors that it will have a Viking theme and take place in Northern Europe during the 9th century. The most interesting takeaway from the rumors is that the game will apparently have a strong emphasis on open-world exploration and be less hand-holdy, with greater freedom over what missions and areas players tackle and in what order. If true, this means Assassin's Creed will be just the latest franchise to borrow ideas from the hit Breath of the Wild, but keep in mind that nothing has been officially confirmed. The new game, whatever it is, arrives next year. We'll probably get a taste of it at E3. I think this is probably the right direction for Assassin's Creed. I think they've been sort of leaning more into the role-playing direction the last couple of attempts up at bat here, and I think this takes it to a whole other level. And I think one of the major issues that Assassin's Creed has, apart from the flood of new titles constantly coming our way, is when you open up that map and it's just a bunch of icons and you're like, oh my god, I don't have time in my life to get to all of those icons. And I think that's going to be a very nice sense of relief when we jump into the game and we don't feel so inundated with activities and things that we have to accomplish. That was actually one of the things that I really enjoyed about Days Gone that I didn't really talk about in my review. They have a smart way that they dole out the challenges and the missions and the thing. They don't give you everything all at once. You kind of have to. You can go almost anywhere that you want to, but the missions feel like they come out a little bit more organically based on the conversations that you have, and then of course you'll accomplish one, and that might trigger another couple over here or something. But it's not like you can just dart right through the main through line of the story, and it kind of gave all of the different missions equal weight. That was something that I definitely appreciated, and it's also something that you can say about The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild. All of the the mucking about that you do in that game feels like it has consequence and it has weight, and it really makes you feel like you've escaped into that world. So it's my favorite game of all time, and I know it is for a lot of other people out there. So you can bet that a lot of people are going to take influence from it. Now, Avengers Endgame is now the second biggest movie ever, but it's already time to start getting excited about the next Marvel movie. Marvel has stated that today is the first day you're allowed to talk about Endgame spoilers, and now we know why. A new trailer for SpiderMan Far From Home has landed, and it starts with a major spoiler from Endgame. So if you haven't seen Endgame, you probably shouldn't hear me talking about this or taking a look at this trailer too much. Following that film's finale, Spider-Man is forced to step up as one of the main Avengers heroes, helping Nick Fury repair a dimensional tear caused by the snaps of the Infinity Gauntlet. This seems to imply that the film will be opening up a new multiverse potential for the MCU, similar to the recent animated movie, and arguably the best superhero movie of all time, Spider-Man Into the Spider-Verse. Far From Home hits theaters this July 2nd, and it looks incredible. The little taste that we got of the movie, and yes, there are spoilers for Avengers Endgame, but holy crap, are there spoilers for Spider-Man Far From Home? Lots and lots of plot details, lots of characters start popping in, some of the bad guys, but it looks incredible. The effects are fantastic, and the sense of fun and humor, and Spider-Man lipping off some New York City cops. I just loved it. I think the vibe is great, and it does feel like they're cranking it up a little bit. They're taking not only the stuff that has happened to the Avengers and to the MCU into consideration with the way the plot's going to unfold here, but also the maturation of Spider-Man himself and the new costumes and the new abilities and the new things that he's learned. All of that stuff makes him a little bit more important. And clearly, he is now. Without spoiling to you, you know what the hell I'm talking about. Everybody's seen Endgame that's watching this right now. Probably some of you have seen it 5 times already. After years of waiting, Minecraft fans are finally going to be able to play the game in real life. Microsoft has released a short video teasing a new augmented reality version of the game for smartphones. More details will be unveiled on May 17th, and this has been a long time coming. An AR version of Minecraft was first demoed on stage at E3 2015. But not for smartphones. It was instead made for Microsoft's mixed reality device, HoloLens, but that version has yet to see the light of day. We'll just have to wait to see how similar the smartphone version is when it's unveiled. Yeah, it's amazing, right? All of this technology that just looked like magic when they popped the HoloLens up on stage. It's now in our phones. I use those animojis all the time to talk to my kid, I was a shark the other day, talking like a shark. Ah, it was great. But it's amazing that we have this technology that just looks super expensive and kind of, science fiction, and then it's in our pocket the next year. And that's exactly what we've got here. So hopefully this works out pretty well, but I think we're going to see a lot of AR toys and a lot of big companies sort of playing around with the way they can give us video game entertainment. I'm excited to give this a shot. I think that will be very fun.